Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. Today I'm bringing to you another body spray video. You may be familiar with my original body spray video from a few years ago where I showed you how to make a crystal clear body spray along with a glitter spray. I'll go ahead and place the link to that video down below for you. There's a lot of great information in that one as well. In today's video, I'm going to be making several small batches of different fragranced body oils for the upcoming fall 2023 season. So I thought I'd bring you along for that process. And I'm also going to be sharing with you how to write your own body spray formula. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a body spray, and I'm also going to be sharing with you the full written recipe down in the description box below, along with letting you know the amounts in the video as well. I'll be publishing a full written recipe with percentages and a full detailed step-by-step written tutorial over on my Patreon campaign. You'll be able to access that for $5 if that's something that you want to take advantage of. I'll place the link to my Patreon campaign also in the description box below. I've been posting weekly, sometimes twice weekly, recipes and tutorials now for the last 4 years. There's literally hundreds of formulas and tutorials for you to take advantage of just at the $5 level. There are also 4 other tiers for you to take a look at and take advantage of if you like, each with their own unique benefit. We offer things like live monthly hangouts, live quarterly classes, monthly gift packages, and upon sign up you get coupon codes to my favorite suppliers like Makesy.com and OnlineLabels.com, making your sign up to my campaign very well worth it. We've built an amazing community over there of almost 3,000 makers now, so I hope you'll check it out. Again, I'll leave the link to my campaign in the description box below for you. All right, let's make some body sprays. All right, before we get started, I just wanted to share with you a little bit about this body spray base that I'm going to be using today. This body spray base comes from Essentials by Catalina. You've seen me use it in my original body spray video. It is only made up of SD alcohol 40B, deionized water, butylene glycol, and glycerin. So it's a very simple ingredient body spray base that works amazingly well. I don't think I've ever had a fragrance oil that didn't work with this base. Everything has always stayed homogeneous. There's never been any floating oils. It retains fragrance super well, and the base itself doesn't have a smell. It may be a slight smell, but it doesn't come through to your finished product like some other bases do. So I prefer this. I love the skin feel of it as well. It kind of gives you a little bit of a silky finish, and it dries down really nicely, meaning there's no film, oily film, or any type of film from the base itself left on your skin. So that's why I prefer this base. I went into more detail in my original video and also my room spray video about why I prefer alcohol bases versus ones you can make from scratch. I know a lot of people do make them from scratch, wanting to stay more natural or all natural. That's just not my preferred method. So I'll leave those videos down below for you to take a look at if you're interested in hearing more about why I like the alcohol bases. And we'll get right into it. So this fall, I'm going to be carrying 3 different body spray fragrances. We're going to be doing Marshmallow Fireside. This one is by Midwest Fragrance Company. Absolutely love this one. And then we're going to be doing a Limoncello Creme by Candle Science. This is a really awesome fragrance as well. And then Sugared Tiare and Creamy Oats by Makesy. Now, I'm not making a very big batch of any of these because I kind of want to see how they go. However, I have stocked up on all my whipped lotions and body butters for the fall, and these are the accompanying fragrances. So the lotions and body butters come in the same fragrances so you can match. So if these sell well, then we'll go ahead and make more. But for now, we're just going to put our feelers out and make a small batch of each one and see how it goes. So we are going to be making 3 940 gram batches. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and weigh off the base into each one of these large beakers. Now I'm going to be using 5% fragrance in the Marshmallow Fireside and also the Sugared Tiare and Creamy Oats. And we're going to be using 3% fragrance in with the Limoncello and Creme. And I'll explain a little bit more about that as we go along. But for the 2 that are going to be 5% fragrance, I'm going to be adding in 893 grams of body spray base. Now, the 893 grams is 95% of my recipe. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fill up another beaker with the same amount. 893 grams is 95% of 940 grams. So the way you figure that is 940 grams times 95% or 0.95 equals 893 grams of base. And then for the last one, this is going to be the Limoncello and Creme. We are only using 3% fragrance for this particular body spray, and that is because the Limoncello Creme has a different usage rate, a smaller usage rate than the other two. So you need to make sure, if you're using fragrances that are outside of the ones that I'm using today and you want to use your own fragrances, you have to look up the usage rates on each fragrance to make sure you're not exceeding them, because then they are considered not skin safe. So the Limoncello Creme is only skin safe at 3.37 in a fine fragrance perfume or body spray, a cologne, anything like that. The Limoncello Creme is only body safe at a maximum of 3.37% of your recipe. So we are going to go with a max of 3% Limoncello Creme. And then the other two fragrances have really high maximum rates. The Sugared Tiare and Creamy Oats can be up to 96% fragrance. Of course, I would never use that. I'm sorry, the Marshmallow Fireside would be, you can use up to 96% of your recipe. I would never do that. That's far too much fragrance. But just to show you that this is almost totally skin safe, undiluted. And then the Sugared Tiare and Oats, you can use up to 30% in your recipe. So each fragrance has its own usage rate, so we're going to be weighing off 97% fragrance or 97% body spray base. So 940 times 97% or 0.97 equals 911.8 grams. 911.8 grams of body spray base. That's 97% of our recipe. All right, since we have the Limoncello Creme body spray base already sitting here, we're gonna go ahead and add our Limoncello Creme fragrance oil into this base. I want you to notice how easily this is integrated into this base with very little effort. The Limoncello Creme, it smells very gourmand. It's got a lot of bakery notes to it, but it's really balanced out well with that tartness of the limoncello. It's a perfect warm kind of fall fragrance, I think. So we're going to be adding in 3% fragrance oil. So 940 times 3% is 28.2 grams of fragrance. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my stirring rod and give this a good stir. Now, you'll notice it just goes clear almost right away. Just going to give this a good stir with my stirring rod. Try not to spill. And you just want to stir until you don't see any more floating or unsolubilized oil, and that's literally it. That's it. So you could leave this uncolored if you want. I'm going to be adding a little bit of color to this one, just a tiny, tiny bit of yellow. And I just don't want this to look like urine or pee. So I am just putting in, I'm going to start with one tiny, I just want a bright kind of like almost not noticeable yellow. So I'm using a Da Balm colorant by Nature's Garden, and this is soluble in waters. And that's all I'm going to add. It's very, very slight. But I just want it to have a little tint of color. I'm not too afraid to color it with any more than that for fear that it's not going to look attractive. So we're going to leave that just like that and set this one aside. It smells so good already. So I'm going to move this one over. And then next up, we're going to go ahead and do our Marshmallow Fireside. So here's the beaker with the Marshmallow Fireside base. Again, this one is 95% base to 5%. So 5% of 940 grams is 47 grams of fragrance. So we're going to go ahead and put in our 5%. Now, the reason or how I came up with the 5%, you're probably wondering, is this base, the Catalina base, body spray base, takes up to 5% of the recipe fragrance. So fragrance can be 5% maximum. If you go over that, you're going to have problems with solubility and your oils not becoming homogeneous with the base. So I stick with the usage rates by the manufacturer. Okay, let me just get my scale tared out here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pour in our 47 grams of Marshmallow Fireside. The Marshmallow Fireside smells really good too. It's not an overwhelmingly sweet smell. It's got bottom notes of cedar and clove, just making it a super well-rounded fragrance. It's got top notes of kind of melted, roasted, that kind of sweet caramelly smell when you roast a marshmallow. It's a really gorgeous fragrance. We're just gonna stir this until our formula goes clear. And now that it has gone clear, we're going to go ahead and add, again, just a tiny, tiny bit of color. I don't even want a drop of this in here, I don't think. I think I just want a little tiny bit. This is the Da Balm FD&C Soap Dye Red. So I think I'm just going to put a little bit on the end of this. I just want to barely tint it. I don't even want a full drop. This base does take color very well. So there goes the red. I'm just wanting to make this a tiny, tiny bit tinted pink. So I may add just a little bit more, just a tiny bit more. I'm almost exactly where I want it. But as you can see, this takes color very well, like it takes your fragrance very well. There we go. I'm gonna give that a stir. Yeah, that's all I want to do. Just a slight tint of pink. One thing I will say as well, if you decide to make these, don't judge the fragrance right away. Like if I smell this right now, you cannot smell the fragrance. You need to give it some time to meld and kind of marry with the base. I promise you in several hours and up to the next day even, your fragrance will start to really, really bloom and blossom in these bases. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the Marshmallow Fireside aside, and then we're gonna do our sugared Tiare and creamy oats. This is a very kind of warm, to me it's a warm and sunny fragrance, if that makes any sense. It's really, really lovely. I've done my whipped lotions and body butters in these as well, well, in all three of these, but I really like the way it carries in the lotions and body butters. So this one is also going to be at 5%. Again, 5% of the recipe is the maximum this particular base can take. So I'm going to be pouring in 47 grams of sugared Tiare and creamy oats. And then again, just stirring this up until my mixture goes clear. All right, and then for this one, we're just gonna add a tiny, tiny bit of peach lab color. This came from Brambleberry. I'm not sure they sell lab colors anymore, but we're gonna go ahead and just a tiny bit. They do carry other liquid dyes though. Just a few little drops. I really just want this to be super light peach. The creamy Tiare and sugared oats kind of has it does have that warm kind of, it's not an oatmeal milk and honey fragrance by any means. It's just like a warm and sunny kind of, that's the best way I can describe it without the fragrance notes in front of me. We're gonna go ahead and add another little drop in here. You can't take the color out, so just go super slow. I don't want this to be orange. I almost just want it to look a little tan. Yep, and there it is. Just two little drops of the peach lab color did the trick. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I'm gonna package these up. So I'm gonna be pouring these into these cute little 6-ounce Boston round spray bottles. They come with this little black spray, and I'm going with the 6-ounce this year. They actually hold about 6.7 ounces of fluid, and I'm going with these this year because I feel like the bigger spray bottles in the past feel like kind of a big commitment for some people. Like, I always think personally I'm going to use more body spray than I do, and it takes me a long time to go through an 8-ounce or bigger. So I'm going to give these a try this year and see what people think. I think it's the perfect size. You could carry it in a bag too with you. So these beakers are rather full. I'm going to do my best not to spill. There we go. Partially filled ones I like to just keep for myself for personal use. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and fill up the rest of these off camera, and then I'll bring you back to show you how I label them. There they are, all bottled up. So I was hoping you could see the different like color variation in these. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop a label on these and show you what that looks like as well. All right, now to go ahead and put a label on these, let's start with the Limoncello and Creme first. So these just turned out so cute. I'm really pleased with my labels. I designed the labels on Adobe Express and then imported the design over to onlinelabels.com. And this is the OL775 label. And that's all I did. I think it turned out super cute. I love these little labels. Okay, so then the next one we're gonna do is the sugared Tiare and creamy oats. This is how this label looks. They're just pre, you know, they have their own little sticker already on the label. So it's a full label sheet of stickers, and you just import it onto the label size you want using this software on onlinelabels.com. And then there you go. And then the last one is the roasted marshmallow and cedar. That's what I'm gonna call the Fireside, Marshmallow Fireside one. I'm gonna call it roasted marshmallow and cedar, just so that people get the idea that it's not it's definitely sweet, but it's not an overly sweet like marshmallow smell. It's very well-rounded. Okay, see how I tried to match the little hint of color to the colors that were already in the label as well? So that's why I chose the colors I did for the actual body spray formula. But there you go, everybody. That's how you make some beautiful fall body mist sprays. I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned something. If you did, please remember to give this video a thumbs up. Please remember to leave me some comments and questions below, and share this video with a friend, and why not subscribe to my channel. All right, everybody, catch you on the next video. Bye. Keep shining.